Man, the level of producer entitlement is at an all-time high right now. It's getting out of hand. Y'all got to fix that.
Bolo!
To be honest with you guys, I don't know why the producer community is even this way, but I really didn't notice this stuff until like when I started doing like beat reviews and stuff like that, and just talking to different producers from, since I've been on YouTube like this. But man, the entitlement of some of these producers are off the charts right now. Don't be out here being a entitled producer. That's not going to get you anywhere. Trust me, circles will close. Doors will close. Everything will close on you if you really act like that. And then the thing about it is a lot of people that are entitled don't understand what's really going on around them, and they don't really understand why they're so alone. A lot of times, a lot of producers that feel like nobody is messing with them or like people are not giving them a chance is because they pretty much lock themselves out of a lot of situations by the way they act more than what they have so far as like production or whatever. And it's bad. Like, it's really bad. Like, I got producers right now that are mad at me because I said that I did not like a particular beat. Or I got some producers that are mad at me because I might have said, hey, I like the melody part, but I might not like the drums. Or I might say like, hey, I like the drums, but I don't like the melody part, And you got producers right now, and I'm just going to be honest with you, that are not that good. They're not good at all. Not even the slightest bit is good. Because I try to make the best out of every single situation. When I hear beats, I try to hear what could be on it, or maybe there's a chance for this track if the right, writer or rapper or if another producer gets on it or whatever. So I try to think the best of, when I hear a lot of that stuff. But there's just some things that just, they cannot be corrected. And those are the ones who usually have the highest level of entitlement. I've had producers write me 3 and 4 paragraphs of why they think I'm a hater or why they feel like they're in a position that they're in because people won't allow them to be great like me or other people that might have platforms for them. But it is crazy to see the level of entitlement with producers that are not that good. Now, I can deal with some of the stuff what some people say. Like, some people say, hey, I don't really agree with what you're saying, but I'm going to work at it and I'm going to try to get better. And that's, that's the way I was. I was one of those people who used to be in the rooms with people and people would say, yo, Bolo, that ain't it. That ain't it, bro. And you know what I would do? It's not like I would sit there and be like, oh man, what you mean? This is the hardest beat ever made, or what are you talking about? I'd just be like, okay, cool. I would soak it up and I would take that energy to the studio, or if I would get back home, and I would try to become better, because I felt that if somebody's saying that I'm not doing something right, I need to fix it. The problem with a lot of producers right now is they don't want to fix things because they feel like since they have a whole bunch of avenues to broadcast their stuff to, they feel like, well, if this person doesn't like it, I'm going to prove them wrong and put it on this platform and somebody's going to like it. But then they get mad because nobody likes it because it's not good. Now, I understand that you can speak out, you can express yourself, you can say, hey, I don't agree with you, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with not agreeing with somebody says, because all this stuff is subjective. You don't know, like maybe stuff that we might not like right now, maybe something that we may like later on down the line. But to bash people who are successful at what they do and say that they're hating or you don't agree with what they're saying and you feel like, people are trying to be negative, that's not right. I didn't grow up that way. When I was producing, I was like, listen, if I'm not that good and somebody tells me I'm not that good, I'm not going to look at that as a form of I need to lash out at the world. I looked at that as fuel to the fire. Now, don't get me wrong. There were some people that were hating. Don't get me wrong. There were some people that just clearly were hating. And then there was a lot of people that said negative things to try to get me to work with them so I could pay them for their services. So we got to kind of cut through the mess with all of that, because there's some people out here who will say very negative and condescending things to you so that you will go into your pockets to, pay them to quote unquote help you out. Now, there's a whole bunch of people like that, and you got to stay clear from that. My thing is, if somebody genuinely is trying to give you advice for your tracks, your music or whatever, you have to understand that they're just giving you a subjective breakdown of what they think needs to be done. Because that one person may say they might not like something, but then you might talk to somebody else who may be genuine as well that says, well, it's not that bad. I think you can do this. But if you're genuinely around somebody who is giving you the right type of feedback or giving you feedback that can correct the problem, don't lash at people like that. That level of entitlement is crazy. Because you got some people that cannot be corrected right now, and they're saying that they want to be professional producers or they want to work with certain artists. You definitely can't be like that, because every beat is not going to be great. And, I'm going to talk about that in another video, but every beat that you make is not going to be great. Even the people that are at the top of the game right now, their stuff is not even the best. They might play 100 beats, but out of those 100, it might be 15 to 20 that might be like, boom, like up here. But then the rest of it may sound like stuff that may have been out, or it might be okay, mediocre, and it might be a few duds in there. That's just how it is when we make music. Sometimes we make some really good stuff, sometimes we make duds. Everything is not coming out super hot fire every single time, and that's a fact. But with us, we do a lot of what I call jump shots. Like me, I might get up in the morning and make 3 beats, and I may never play those beats for anybody. But I'm in the gym taking my shot. So if I'm in the studio with somebody, I'll already be prepped for what they want. Like I might make a trap beat this day, or I might cut up a sample the next day, or I might try to play a few keys the next day and just try to learn a few things. So if I'm in that situation, I can be a lending hand if there's other producers, or if I have to produce something entirely myself, I won't go in there not knowing what to do. So I use all of those different things that some people may say, hey, I might not like this, but if you work on this, you can get better. Instead of me saying, oh man, they just hating. They hating on my beats. They hating on what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I've been in here, I made 15 beats today, and all of them should go to Jay-Z right now. And that's how some people think. They think, oh, I just made this beat right now. I'm not even gonna play this beat for nobody. I'm gonna say this beat for Jay-Z. And when I meet Jay-Z, he's going to jump on this beat and it's going to be over. I'm here to tell you that in like 99% of the situations, that's not going to happen. Trust me, I used to feel the same way. But now I feel like since people have, IG accounts and they can play their beats, and sometimes they might have 10 people listen to it or 100 people listen to it. And then you might have friends and family that say, hey, man, you're great. You're great. Don't listen to those guys. Those guys are just hating on you. They already got their money. They're just hating on you to keep you down. No, that's not it. Because a lot of times it actually benefits people like me or anybody else that's in the position that I am to say, hey, bro, I think you should work this out a little bit better, because a lot of times we might be in a position to where we can actually help you out. And in turn, it will help us out at the same time. It might be a beat that you might have that might be phenomenal. And I say, dang, that beat is dope. Let me try to play it for a few artists. And if I get it placed for you, just give me a little bit of the publishing. I'll let you keep the majority of the publishing. Let me get a little bit of the publishing since I did my work on that. And then that way, it won't be nothing of nothing. At least you can get you 80% or 90% of your publishing, and I get like 10% of it. And then that way we can eat together. And then boom, you can have your tracks out like that. But then you have some people who you try to say, hey, I think we can do this and do that. I think you might need to work on this. And they'll just get completely mad at you because they feel like you're trying to hate on them or you're just being mean to them. And really you're not. And I've seen that on the rise with a lot of producers. And I know how to deal with it. It's no issue. To me, it's no problem, because if you want to miss out on your blessing, that's perfectly fine with me, because that leaves me with more people to work with by myself, and that leaves me with more opportunities for myself. But I'm the type of person that likes to lend out my hand to try to help out people so that everybody at some point can eat, because there's more than enough money out here for everybody to eat. But yeah, it's a lot of producers out here who have like super huge egos, who have this super duper entitlement, that feel like they're already there, that they already made it, and like you're supposed to bow down to them, and they've never even did anything like that. If anything, a lot of people should be a lot more humbled. You know, like me, I'm like a fly on the wall when I'm amongst other producers, even though that we're all pretty much on the same level. I just go in there to really have fun. And a lot of times I don't even produce with the guys. I'm in there. They might say, hey, Bolo, come over here and jump on something. I'm like, oh man, that's cool. But they're like, nah, come on. Because they trust what I can do. But if you're somebody who has never shown or proved of what you can do, nobody can really trust you. And nobody, frankly, really cares who you are. If anything, it's hurting a lot of people trying to help somebody who is not humbled by the opportunities that they have, and they feel like, oh man, you know, I don't really need no help. I don't need nobody right now. Trust me, everybody needs help. Even I needed help. I'm one person that can tell you right now that help is definitely needed for everybody. And me playing my tracks and playing stuff for people, and then for them to give me their insight on what I need to fix, or if the beat is good or if the beat is trash, that was so valuable to me, because it made me a better producer. And even you guys, like when I make beats online, some of y'all will be like, nah, Bolo, that ain't it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Dang, that ain't it. And it's cool. It's not like, man, y'all don't know who I am. I'm Bolo. I sold millions of singles and stuff like that. No, it's not like that. If somebody says, hey, I'm not feeling that, I'll say, okay, cool. What do you think needs to be fixed? And then from there, I can say, you know what? Let me think on that, and let me see if it's something that I really need to fix. I might play it for somebody else or whatever and try to get feedback that way. But for me to like to go off on somebody or feel like somebody's hating, nah, man, I think everybody has a role. I think everybody, even people who are at the top of the chain of production to even the people who are at the bottom of the chain, I think everybody has a role in this. And I think everybody can become better by taking any type of feedback at all times. So what I want to say to a lot of you guys is take that entitlement away. Learn to accept constructive criticism. Learn to take really hard criticism. Learn to take the hate. Learn to take all of that and use that to fuel the fire and come back in a positive manner. And I guarantee you things will go a lot smoother for you. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And like I always say, peace out.